Students, I am Manoj Kundare, the Assistant Professor of Electronic Science. Welcome back to our e-learning platform. In previous video, we have seen the details about the half-wave rectifier. The link of the previous video is available in the description box. Please check it. Now, in this video, we are going to see the full wave rectifier. Before going to see the full wave rectifier, let's summarize the operation of half wave rectifier. Okay, here this is the diagram of half wave rectifier. We can draw this diagram like this. This is the step down transformer. This is the primary of the transformer and secondary of the transformer. The input of the transformer is 230 volt 50 hertz AC. Okay, and the output of the transformer may be 12 volt or 5 volt AC having frequency 50 hertz. In half wave rectifier, we use a single diode. That means we use only single diode D. Then the load resistance RL and the ground terminal. If we consider the two terminals or the 2 points A and B, then during the positive half cycle of the AC signal, that means during this positive half cycle, point A becomes positive and point B becomes negative. When point A becomes positive, the diode D1 conducts, that means the current flows from diode towards the load. At the output, we get the rectified output or the half cycle, positive half cycle of the AC mains. But when the negative half cycle appears, point A becomes now negative and point B becomes now positive. Point A becomes now negative, that means anode is connected to the negative terminal, hence diode is in reverse bias condition, and we know that when the diode is in reverse bias condition, it does not conduct any current, hence current not flows through the diode. Hence, at this negative half cycle, there is no output like this. When again the positive half cycle appears, then again point A becomes positive, point B becomes negative. Hence, diode D is forward biased, and in this forward bias condition, the current flows. That means we get again the positive half cycle. This is the working of the half wave rectifier. I hope you all remember this working. Let's see here the animation of the half wave rectifier, in which we can see here that when the diode is forward biased or during the positive half cycle, here during the positive half cycle the current flows. This is the AC current flows. This dot represents the AC current. The diode is forward biased and hence it supplies load. That means output appears at this stage. But during the negative half cycle, the diode is in reverse bias condition. Hence no current flows through the diode and hence through the load. Hence at the negative half cycle there is no output. Okay, I hope you all now understand the operation of the half wave rectifier. Now let's see the full wave rectifier. The half wave rectifier only allows either a positive half cycle or a negative half cycle of the input AC signal, and the remaining half cycle of the input AC is blocked. That means we know that this is the waveform of AC input signal, and the output of the half wave rectifier is for only the positive half cycle or is for only the negative half cycle. Okay, hence the remaining half cycle is blocked. As a result, large amount of power is wasted. Furthermore, the half wave rectifiers are not suitable in the applications where need a steady and smooth DC voltage. So, the half wave rectifiers are not efficient AC to DC converters. In full wave rectifier, the current flows through the load in the same direction, that is DC, for both the half cycles of the input AC supply voltage. That means for the full wave rectifier, if this is the AC means this is the positive half cycle, and during the positive half cycle the output appears across the load. Okay. Also during the negative half cycle the output appears across the load. Okay. This is shown in this diagram. This is the waveform of the AC signal having the positive half cycles and negative half cycle, and this is the output of the full wave rectifier, in which we can see here that the positive half cycle output appears here and the negative half cycle output also appears here, but only difference is that here this cycle has negative and this cycle is positive. That means whether there is a negative half cycle appears, there is a positive output appears across the load. I hope you all now understand the full wave rectifier. There are mainly two types of full wave rectifier. First one is center tapped full wave rectifier, and second is bridge rectifier. Let's see details about first center tapped full wave rectifier. The name center tapped is used because here the transformer is used of the center tap type. This is the center tap transformer, in which we can clearly see that the secondary of the transformer, that means this has the three terminals A, B and O. This O is at the center of the secondary, hence it is known as the center tap transformer. And the center tap transformer has the supply like positive negative, like this. Okay, I hope you all know these things. Now let's see the description about the diagram. The figure 1 shows the circuit diagram of the center tap full wave rectifier, and the figure 2 shows the input and output waveform of the center tap full wave rectifier. The circuit uses two diodes D1 and D2. D1 and D2. A center tap secondary winding AB is connected with the two diodes such that each diode uses one half cycle of the input AC voltage. That means during the positive half cycle D1 is forward bias, and during the negative half cycle D2 is forward bias. Okay. That means D1 utilizes the positive half cycle of the secondary winding for rectification, and diode D2 uses the negative half cycle. Now let's see the operation of the full wave rectifier. We know that we are seeing the operation of the rectifier in two ways or in two modes. First one is during positive half cycle, and second one is during negative half cycle. Let's see first during the positive half cycle. During the positive half cycle of the secondary voltage, the end A of the secondary winding becomes positive and end B becomes negative. That means during the positive half cycle, this is the positive half cycle, the end A becomes positive and end B becomes negative. Okay. So diode D1 is forward biased. Here end A becomes positive, hence the anode of this D1 is connected with the positive terminal, hence diode D1 becomes forward bias. Okay. And diode D2 is reverse bias. Here negative supply is connected to the anode of the diode, hence diode D2 is in reverse bias condition. Hence diode D1 conducts and diode D2 does not. We know that diode D1 is forward bias, hence current flows through it, but diode D2 is reverse bias, hence current does not flows through it. Okay, that means in forward bias condition the current flows through the point A, D1, then RL to point O and then A. Okay, the current flows through the diode D1 load resistance RL, upper half the secondary winding OA. This is shown by the dotted arrows. Okay, that means during the positive half cycle point A becomes positive, point B becomes negative. Here, due to this combination, D1 becomes forward bias while D2 becomes reverse bias. Hence, D1 is in on state and D2 is in off state. Okay. Hence, during positive half cycle, current flows through the point A, D1 from RL to point A and then OA. Okay, this is the path of the current during the positive half cycle. I hope you all understand. During the positive half cycle, the lower part is in off state. Okay. Now let's see the next mode during the negative half cycle. During the positive half cycle of the secondary voltage, the end A of the secondary winding becomes negative and end B is positive. Here is one correction is that during the positive half cycle, here during the negative half cycle, we will see the operation in negative half cycle. Here the correction is that during the negative half cycle of the secondary voltage, the end A of the secondary winding becomes negative and end B becomes positive. Okay, so now here end A becomes negative, hence diode D1 is in reverse bias condition and diode D2 is in forward bias condition. So diode D2 is forward biased and diode D1 is reverse biased. Hence, diode D2 conducts and D1 does not. Diode D2 is forward biased, hence current flows through this diode D2, but D1 is reverse biased, hence there is no current flows through D1. The current flows through the diode D2, load resistance RL, and the lower half of the secondary winding OB. This is shown in by the dotted arrows. That means during the negative half cycle, that means during this part, point A becomes negative, point B becomes positive. Here, point A becomes negative, hence D1 is in reverse bias, while B is positive, hence D2 becomes forward bias. We know that reverse bias means diode is in off state. That means D1 is in off state while D2 is in on state. The current flows through the D2 from point O to B to D2, RL and again to O. This is the direction of the current while the upper half of the circuit is remains off in this negative half cycle. Okay, I hope you all understand the operation of the full wave rectifier. Let's see once again. This is the diagram of full wave rectifier. Okay, this is the center tap transformer is used and two diodes are used, D1 and D2. During the positive half cycle, point A becomes positive, point B becomes negative. Point A becomes positive, hence D1 is in forward bias mode, hence current flows through it. Okay, but during the during the positive half cycle, diode D2 is in reverse bias condition, hence there is no current flows through it. That means during the positive half cycle, the output voltage appears across the load. Okay, now let's see the operation in the negative half cycle. The negative half cycle means during negative half cycle means during this part. Okay, in negative half cycle, point A becomes negative and point B becomes positive. Point B becomes positive, hence D2 is forward biased while D1 is reverse biased, hence D1 is in off state while D2 is in on state, hence current flows from D2 to RL O to B. Okay, hence during the negative half cycle, the output appears across the load or the output voltage appears across the load like this. That means during the positive half cycle, diode D1 becomes on and during the negative half cycle, diode D2 becomes on. Okay, That means there is no loss of voltage during the positive and negative half cycle. I hope you all now understand the operation of the center tapped full wave rectifier. Okay, now let's see the waveforms of the center tap full wave rectifier. These are the waveforms for center tap full wave rectifier. The first waveform represents an input AC signal. The second waveform and third waveform represents the DC signals or the DC current produced by diode D1 and diode D2. That means during the positive half cycle, diode D1 conducts. During each positive half cycle, diode D1 conducts. This is shown by like this. Okay. The next waveform is during the negative half cycle. It means during the negative half cycle, diode D2 conducts. Okay. I hope you all understand the difference here. Now, from the above, the last waveform represents the total output DC current and produced by D1 and D2. This is the total current. That means this is in this part D1 is on, in this part D2 is on, D1, D2, D1, D2, etc. Okay. From the above waveform, we can conclude that the output current produced by the load is not pure DC but a pulsating DC. Here we get the output in DC form. We can say this is the DC form because there is no negative output or the no negative values in this waveform. Only we get positive values. Hence, we called this waveform as the DC voltage. But we know that the pure DC has the constant value and this is the pulsating value. Okay, that means this is a pulsating DC or impure DC. I hope you all now understand the operation of full wave rectifier and its waveform. Let's see its operation once again. In this diagram, we can see here that during the positive half cycle, the diode D1 conducts and output appears across the load. During the negative half cycle, let's see once again, during positive half cycle, diode D1 conducts and output appears across the load. Okay. During negative half cycle, what happens here? This is the negative half cycle, and we know that the operation of the center tap full wave rectifier in which diode D1 is reverse bias and diode D2 is forward bias. Okay. That means during the negative half cycle, we get the output by D2 is on and D1 is off. Let's see this concept once again. Okay, here at the negative half cycle, the diode D2 conducts and output appears across the load. I hope you all understand. Let's see once again. During negative half cycle, the diode D2 conducts and output appears across the load. At the same time, D1 remains off. While during the positive half cycle, D1 is on and we get the output. At the same time, D2 is in off state. I hope now you all understand the operation of full wave rectifier. Let's see some characteristics of center tap full wave rectifier. First one is ripple factor. The ripple factor can be mathematically defined as the ratio of RMS value of AC component of the output voltage to the DC component of the output voltage. That means ripple factor can be simply defined as AC upon DC, where the AC component in the output to the DC component in the output. The ripple factors RMS value of AC component of the output voltage upon DC component of the output voltage. The ripple factor is denoted by gamma and its value is 0.48, that means 48%. The ripple factor for half wave rectifier are having very large value 121%, and this ripple factor or these ripples are greatly reduced in the full wave rectifier towards the 48% only. Okay, the next characteristic is peak inverse voltage or PIV. The peak inverse voltage is the maximum reverse bias voltage up to which a diode can withstand. During the reverse bias, the diode do not conduct total voltage drop across the diode. Thus, peak inverse voltage is equal to twice the input voltage Vs. That means PIV is equal to 2 into Vs. Okay. Now, the next factor is transformer utilization factor or TUF. The TUF is defined as the ratio of DC power is delivered to the load and the AC rating of the transformer secondary. The half wave rectifier has around 0.287 and full wave rectifier has the TUF around 0.693. Okay. The next factor is efficiency of the rectifier. This is the very main and important characteristics of the rectifier. Rectifier efficiency or eta is the ratio between the output DC power and the input AC power. Here the formula for the efficiency is equal to eta is equal to PDC upon PAC. The efficiency of full wave rectifier is 81.2%. Okay. Now the form factor is defined as the ratio of RMS value to the DC value and its value is 1.11 for full wave rectifier. Now let's see some advantages of center tap full wave rectifier. The first one is high rectifier efficiency, second one is low power loss, and third one is low ripples. There are some disadvantages of the center tap full wave rectifier. That first one is the DC output is low as each diode utilizes only half of the secondary voltage. The diodes must have high peak inverse voltage. The circuit of full wave rectifier is complex, and the main disadvantages of the center tap full wave rectifier is that there is a necessity of the transformer with center tap secondary winding. This is the main disadvantage of this rectifier. I hope you all now understand all the terms related with the center tap full wave rectifier. Thank you.